Hey Pisces, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We have officially moved into Virgo season. Whoop whoop. I'm really pumped about this, apparently. It comes out on every video. Now, I like Virgo energy because it gives us a little bit more balance, more restoration. Leo season wasn't the worst thing ever, but it did kind of bring out some competitiveness, some fire energy. People were just kind of getting like wild and fed up at the end of things. So we just moved into Virgo season. We had a new moon in Virgo. That energy is definitely very present. It helps us reset the stage, revamp, kind of look at things that need a little bit more tender, loving care. I feel like we're also in this period of resting and restoring from a lot of the things that have been disheveled, right? Like the things that we've been dedicating a lot of time, a lot of energy to changing, shifting, or evolving through in our life. It's definitely heightened a lot of emotion and feeling. Some of it has not been very fun, but I do feel like we're gaining a lot more clarity and perspective, which is part of the reason why we move through this stuff, right? We still have 3 outer planets in retrograde. They're going to be there through the end of the year, as well as Chiron, which is the wound healer. So that's why we're kind of being forced to live these or learn these deeper spiritual lessons. But really, it is that element of allowing us to connect with the things that make us happy, fulfilled, passionate about life, i.e. the age of Aquarius. I'm laughing because I actually heard this song the other day, and it just, kind of reminded me of like why the change is happening, why things are moving in the direction they are. They're really breaking apart old paradigms, old concepts, old ways of living, so that we can find more peace, more harmony, etc. That's why I like to start the readings off with an energy cleansing. It just helps set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. It also cleanses out some of those areas we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really great time to set your own intention for the reading as well, Pisces, especially if you do have something on your heart or mind you want Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give those things over, be open to receive. It is a really great way to personalize these collective readings. It works. Spirit's always looking to speak to us. We just have to open our eyes and ears. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're more interested in a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are in alignment, when we have that strong foundation, just like we were talking, well, I don't know if I talked about it, like Virgo energy really helps give us a strong foundation because we're investing in our health, our well-being, our daily routine, etc. That's where we're manifesting our happiness, our abundance, right? And I would love to support that in whatever way possible, Pisces. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, with that, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Pisces. So I feel like your energy might be a little bit bored lately. Like I'm almost hearing like you don't have a lot going on. I'm hearing like you got things in order. You've put, like, you had some goals, some ambitions in front of you around how you wanted your life to look, etc. I feel like it was almost like a reorganization or a straightening up Maybe it was a little bit about distracting yourself, trying to process through some of the things that have happened. And it feels like you're in a space 100%. I love that celebration is your overarching energy. It feels like you're in a space where you do feel good. But you're also kind of like twiddling your thumbs is what I'm hearing. Maybe, I don't know. I think you're trying to find like what your next thing is going to be, where you invest your energy. Also maybe doing a little bit of poking the badger, poking the bear, so to speak, see what kind of becomes either enlivened in your life, like where you can get a reaction out of someone, something. And it might be as simple as brainstorming, right? Like finding what's next, because it does look like you're in a period, Gemini energy, where things have completely changed and shifted. You were forced to look at some blind spots that you had in life, but it does look like you've overcome that stuff. And again, you're in a space where you're like, okay, it's a good week to celebrate. Like I said, we're in Virgo season, and Virgo does really focus on how we take care of ourselves. I look at it as like the foundation we're building for our life. It does look like you've been able to break away from some things. Again, some of those blind spots that you weren't seeing or expecting. I feel like you did it. And again, now that you're there, I don't know if this is confusion about moving forward. I feel like this is, yes. I mean, maybe you are a little bit ambiguous about your next steps, how I was picking up in the very beginning. This also feels like you might have some confusion around people, situations that you've pulled away from. It's also saying, I love this, it's not the best time to make any decisions. Be patient and wait until you can see the choices before you. So that goes back to this energy of like, that's exactly why you're not sure about what these next steps are going to be, because you are still dealing with some of the past, especially with this heartbreak energy. If you don't transform your pain, you will transmit it to those around you. Acknowledge, heal, and grow. And that's really what moving through, processing through our life experiences, that's the way we like release and let go of heartbreak, is if we can actually look at it, stare it in the face, feel the feels around it, understand it, and then release it and let it go. You know, that's maybe oversimplified, but that really is the key to processing our emotions, you know. And Ayurveda really looks at it like, if we don't process those things, that's where we lodge them down in our physiology, in our body. Then they start coming up in ways we don't expect, or it becomes trauma, it becomes disease, etc. It gets exasperated. So I feel like that's part of where that distraction energy was coming into play for you, Pisces, in the very beginning. When we can have everything in order, it does make us feel a little bit more comfortable, right? Like, it's not, even if you can thrive in chaos, it's not fun to be in chaotic situations. At some point, it does, you feel the effects on your nervous system, the stress, the overwhelm, the constant fight or flight. Anyway, you're not in that space this week. Sorry for my tangent. You're actually, because there's not a lot of information or awareness around how you want to move forward, Spirit is recommending that you kind of stay still, stay put. I feel like some of the processing of this is actually helping you connect, with new people. Going against the grain, going against the beaten path, expanding your circle, your friends, your communities, even your ideas, right? Like, I love Aquarian energy because it does force us to think outside of the box. And right now, well, Uranus rules Aquarius. So we've been having some tense aspects with the sun, which is our ego. It's hard to maybe accept where some of this confusion and heartbreak is taking place, where you thought people were going to be one thing and then they ended up being another, or, right, like they were a blind spot. Okay, we have Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. You could be dealing with an air sign, Or, well, and actually we're getting, as I'm saying that, double confirmation on Aquarius. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius. Or, I mean, again, this kind of just looks like someone who like made a decision. Maybe it was a little bit of not a very nice decision. But in their mind, it made sense, right? Like, I feel like they kind of gave you a half-ass version of whatever this exchange was. And they've pulled back their energy. I mean, it does look like they're still giving on some level. Maybe they are helping or investing in you to some capacity. But there's something about this that they're just like having a hard time with whatever they're thinking, whatever they're feeling about you. They're having a really hard time like making peace. That's why their energy towards you is the Knight of Cups. Let's see what they're having. I don't know. Okay. Like, I almost feel like they're having a hard time with the choices, the decisions that they made. It looks like whatever decisions this was did kind of put you in a spot where you had no choice but to do your own thing. And I feel like as much as you are keeping the peace on some level present day, you're not letting their choice or their decision throw you off course. You're actually keeping yourself very focused. And as much as on one end of things, you're like telling them that you guys are friends, 3 of Cups, 5 of Swords. In reality, you're making sure you're keeping very strong boundaries. And that's what's hard for this person, because like things are pleasant, or maybe pleasant's the wrong word, polite. That's what I was looking for. It's when you just kind of do lip service or to their face. It's like, yeah, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. But both ends are vibing in that way. And in reality, I feel like the Queen of Swords maybe has a little bit more interest in you lately, because whatever decision that they made kind of cut them out of whatever you're doing, right? Like it cut them out of the equation and they're feeling left out. But I don't know, for them, it looks like this was the difference between, like it was something that they felt like they had to do for their own happiness, their own peace. Okay, let's look at why the Devil pops up for you. Okay. Gosh, dude. The Devil, the Tower, 8 of Wands, Page of Cups. Uh-oh. Okay. And why? Okay. Well, there's something about this that I feel like there's something about this that really comes out of the woodwork. Sorry, Pisces. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly for you. Okay, so we get on their end, it's the Wheel, and it's clarified by 4 of Swords, the Lovers, and Knight of Coins. So again, this like pulling back of their energy. For you, the Devil is clarified by the Tower, 8 of Wands, and Page of Cups. Like, it does look like something, I don't know, something comes back. I feel like this is actually kind of the missing pieces is what I'm picking up. Someone is, and it does look like this Queen of Swords, this Aquarius energy is hiding some information. And it kind of looks like some of it either comes out or something happens that you're just not expecting at all. Like, to me, it feels like this was something that someone was intentionally hiding from you in order that you made certain choices and decisions anyway, where they, in fact, did not really have your back. Maybe they were making it seem that way, but I'm feeling like this was more about like them forcing their agenda via you. Like, you were kind of like their puppet, so to speak. Maybe that sounds bad, you know, maybe that maybe it's not as extreme, right, as extreme as like they intentionally were trying to do you wrong or trip you up, but they had a certain agenda, they had a certain motivation, and they used you to get it accomplished is what I'm seeing. And I feel like it kind of, it feels like it brought something down that you worked really hard for. I think this is something you've already worked through though as well. Like, you're already making peace with Like you've already made peace with this. Sorry, someone keeps blowing up my phone. Sorry, I keep getting thrown up. Okay, you've already made peace with this. You've separated yourself. It's just like whatever this is, you're in a weird phase where you're either still talking or you have to maintain pleasantries on some level. It is going to reveal something. It's not happening this week, but it's going to reveal something about this dynamic that I think like gives you a lot of clarity. I feel like it puts someone into a different light. And I feel like there are some decisions on the table. And I think you're in a space where, I think you're in a space where you're going to have to make some decisions about what you want to work with, how you want to work with that, whether or not you want to continue this connection or not, whether or not it's worth it to refine it. I love this. So there are some wishes coming in, right? Like maybe it disconnected you from one of the desires that you had. It didn't allow you to pursue something, or, it feels like you gave someone a little bit too much credit, or whatever they were doing kind of infiltrated. It didn't lead to your demise, but it does feel like it stole from you. It stole something, a desire, an energy, or something that could have been really abundant. And you're kind of seeing the reality of this. The devil, the tower, is a really hard energy. It's like, it is when someone is not being fully honest, fully transparent. And like I said, I don't think that their desire was to harm you, but I think you became, a casualty, right? Like you became unfortunately, you were kind of roped into this, and it was like you didn't really want to be. So this week, recharge, reset, restore, Pisces. That's what this celebration is all about. It's giving yourself validation, credit for what you've overcome, what you've accomplished. Definitely keep that in the forefront, because I feel like it's going to make moving through this epiphany around this person's situation way easier to kind of like process through. It sucks. It's not going to be easy to deal with, but it's also highlighting who and what is like willing to work with you, and who and what you want on your side, on your team. So I hope this helped. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support you bring to the channel. No, it blesses my heart, and I'm sending it back your way.